Hi guys, thanks for stopping by. I am the Unfrumpy Mommy, and today I wanted to come to you to share my method for making tops like these using no pattern. Yes, I love these tops. They're very simple to make, and not only can you wear them as I'm wearing today with just a pair of skinny jeans, but they also double as bikini cover-ups. So let's get started with the tutorial. Okay, so let's take a look at the one that I'm wearing right now to give you an idea of how your top or bikini cover-up will look. I chose some very, I think, Caribbean looking fabric. This particular top I made to take when my family and I went to Aruba. So I added this fringe that I hand sewed on to the bottom, only to the front. I didn't add it to the back, but I love the look that it gives it. Up here at the neck area, I also hand sewed on this little beading detail, and I think it gives it just the right amount of sparkle. Alright, so this is the front, and this is the back. And just to give you an idea of how difficult, or shall I say easy, your top will be, the only sewing really that we did with our machine is right down the sides here, and then we finished it along the sleeves and then at the bottom. So it's really, really simple. If you really wanted to, if you didn't have a sewing machine, you could actually hand sew the entire top if you wanted. Alright, so let's get started. Okay ladies, so the next step is to obviously choose your fabric. I typically choose a fabric color that's going to work with what my husband and son are wearing. These tops that I've made, these bikini cover-ups or tops, I typically wear when we are away on vacation. And while away on vacation, I love to take photos. And it's just like you would do if you were going to a professional photographer to have your photos, your family photos taken. You would, kind of coordinate. So I like to do the same thing when we are away on vacation, and it really makes for beautiful pictures. So this particular fabric that I have chosen is like a zebra print, blue and white fabric. It's a really, really light and airy fabric, and will be perfect on our next vacation to the Caribbean or down south to Miami somewhere. So perfect for that. So what you're going to want to do when you're in the fabric store is ask for 2 to 2.5 yards of fabric. It's going to be more than enough, but I always like to ask for more just in case I make a mistake somewhere along the way. After you've chosen your fabric, you want to also then go ahead and choose your thread. I've chosen white for my thread for this particular top or bikini cover-up because that is the background color. I think it's best to choose the thread that matches your background color. That way the thread won't be competing with your fabric. So again, I've chosen white for this fabric. Alright, after you've purchased your fabric and your thread and you're back home and you're ready to get started, you then want to take your fabric, once you've got everything nice and set up, and fold it hamburger style. For all you teachers out there that have taught elementary school like myself, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. You want to fold it more square as opposed to rectangle. So you get your fabric home, fold it hamburger style, not hot dog. Fold it the wide way. Once you've made it home, you folded your fabric over hamburger style, you then want to find the center of your fabric. I use a yardstick as my measuring tool, and once you find the center of your fabric, you're going to just take some fabric chalk or a fabric pen and mark it right there in the middle where the center of your fabric is. Once you've found the center of your fabric and you've marked it off, you then want to measure out about 2 to 3 inches on either side of your fabric and start to cut right there. Once you've made that cut across the top, you're then going to cut down in a triangle shape about 5 to 6 inches. And once you've made the cut, you should end up with a shape like this. So again, let's go back. I think I'm going to stand up. You folded your fabric in hamburger style. You've made a cut across the top, starting at the center. You've cut across 3 to 4 inches either side, and then you've taken that cut on either side and worked your way down to the center here, 5 to 6 inches. You want to be careful not to go too deep down into your triangle shape because it'll be too wide in here, and we don't want that. And there, your shirt or bikini cover-up is just about finished. Now all we have to do is sew down the side, also finish your neck area. So let's take a look at that next step. Okay ladies, so I placed the unfinished top on. I now want to measure where exactly I want to start sewing on the front of my top. So what you're going to do, you place it on and you want to kind of measure about how tight do you want your top to be. If it's a bikini cover up, then you're probably going to want it to be a little looser. If you're going to just wear this out as a normal top, then you may want it to fit a little bit more snug. So I'm going to sew this one as if I were going to wear it as a top to be paired with a pair of jeans or leggings. Okay, and if you can kind of see the bottom here, once I sew that down, this top is going to be good to go. So I'm going to place a couple of push pins right in here. And be careful not to stick yourself. So one there and one parallel to that one. Eyeballing it. These are not tops that I'm going to wear out to a fancy restaurant or things like that. This is just going to be my top for the beach, my top if I'm tooling around some town in the Caribbean, and just being really, really casual. I purchased 2 yards of it, so it's nothing. So I think for the price you pay for the fabric and the little time that it takes to make, you're not expecting it to be some super duper couture top. All right, so let's get started with our sewing. Okay ladies, so we're ready to get started sewing down the front sides of our top. Locate my pin that I placed in the top earlier. I'm going to leave my pin inside the top and just insert my fabric underneath the foot of my sewing machine. So we're going to start right at where the pin starts, and we're going to go down about halfway of the top, halfway the length of the top, and stop. We're not going to sew the top all the way the length of the top, just halfway, because we want our top to be nice and roomy. Always remember to back sew a little bit so that the thread doesn't pull out. And that side is done. We're going to do the same thing to the other side. Okay ladies, now that we've sewn down both sides of the front of our top, I think I will go ahead and finish the collar. For this step, what we want to do is turn our top inside out. All of our sewing thus far has been on the side that is the right side, the side that's going to be exposed when we wear it. Well, now what we want to do is flip the top inside out to finish off our collar. And so what we're going to do is fold over our collar about a half an inch to an inch. And if you wanted to, you could sew this down and it would make it nice and smooth and easier for you to follow along. But like I said, these tops are just made for me to wear on vacation. More than likely, I probably won't wear it more than once. These are just my little simple, cheap tops, if you will, that I wear to kind of coordinate with the things that my husband and son are going to be wearing on vacation. They're not real fancy or supposed to look like any designer type top, just real casual. Just let's get started sewing down our collar. If I haven't mentioned it already, I have not taken any lessons, so this is just my method for making these tops. I'm going to follow all along the fold that we just made. Okay ladies, well this is it. I've sewn down the collar, I've sewn down the sides, that's it. Our top is complete. This is how I would pair it for vacation with just a pair of white jeans. The jeans that I'm wearing are a pair of 7 for All Mankind. I think this is pretty good. Took about, what, 8 to 10 minutes to finish the entire top? Yeah, I think that's pretty good. This is our no pattern, either bikini cover up or just basic beach top. That's what I like to call it. We did a great job. Now remember, if you wanted to wear this as your bikini cover up, you may want to come down a little wider here on the side to give you more room. And then also it'll make it a little bit longer. By coming in tighter or closer as I did, it made the seam a little bit more snug. So that is it. I hope you ladies enjoyed the tutorial. Again, I am not a professional. I have not taken any sewing classes. This is just my method for doing the no-sew top or bikini top. So until next time, ladies, don't be a frumpy mommy. Bye, ladies.